Okay, so in this sentence we have a linking verb here. Okay, and so because of that, that tells us that this is our neuter subject here. This sucker's genitive. That's genitive. That's nominative. Okay, and then proximum takes the dative. Okay, so this sucker's dative. Okay, so you can either be Yoda and say the farthest town of the Allobroges is Geneva. Okay, or you could say Geneva is the farthest town of the Allobroges. And is nearest to the borders of the Helvetii. Yep, Pons. Okay, so we got from that town. A bridge reaches to the Helvetians. Okay, so this next sentence you have to go all the way down to this existamabant. That's your main verb. Okay, and then you got this like relative clause right here, so ignore that for a minute. Okay, then you got these two vel words, which is like either or whether or. Okay, so that kind of sets up two parallel. They were thinking that either this or this. Okay? So you get they were thinking, okay? And you go, well, I see there's persuasuros right here. Okay, which looks like a what?
Future.
Yeah, it looks like a future active participle, right? And I got this one looks like a future active participle. Okay, but indeed they're not. Okay, so you have to know that that verb of thinking sets up an indirect statement. With this, you have to stick an essay in there. An essay here, and an essay there. So it's a future active infinitive. So I guess I'm telling you that because if you're just looking at it like by yourself on the AP test, you got to remember to add that essay. You see that verb of thinking, and you got to remember to add that essay in there. Does that make sense? Why do you think that Caesar left it out? Well, it's ellipsis, right? Why do you have ellipsis? Because he's trying to like speed the action of the narrative up. Okay, so we got. Okay, hold on, before we do that. Okay, then you have to remember that persuadio takes the dative. Okay, so that's why this sucker is dative. Okay, and it's the object of the persuasuros. So the subject is the say right here. Okay, so let me translate it and then I'm going to ask you a question here. So we got, they were thinking, who is the they? The Helvetians, right? I think that to me is the hardest to keep up with who is the, so I'm going to put, okay, so they were thinking that they themselves would either persuade the Allobroges. Okay, that would is how you get the future part of it in there. Okay, that they themselves either would persuade the Allobroges because they did not seem, what about the Allobroges? They did not yet seem of good mind seem of good mind toward the Roman people. Or that they would, what word does coacturos come from? Coegi coactus, right, what is that? Yeah. Or that they would compel them by force. Okay, so this we, where does that we come in? You know what word that comes from? Yeah. So it's like wees, whim, we. I guess it's we, whim, we, force. That's one of those little words you'll never remember what it means, but force. Okay, or that they would compel them by force so that they would allow them to go through their own borders. Okay, so I have these two subjunctives underlined. And I ask, why are they subjunctive? I'm not real sure that I know why they're subjunctive. I think this second one, this paterentur, is subjunctive because it's a purpose clause. Do you think that's a purpose clause? What's over Eos? The Helvetii. So I'm wondering if this one is... I wonder if that's purpose too. Of course, it never tells me what I don't know in here. I don't know. Inquiring minds. We'll look later. Okay. Okay, so then this next sentence starts off with an ablative absolute that goes from here to here. Okay, and then you got a little prepositional phrase here, right here. Okay, so we got, with all the things having been prepared for their departure, they appoint a day then we got on which day they all may gather at the banks, at the bank of the Rhine. Okay, that convenion's one of those jussive subjunctive, like may let us, or we may join at the bank of the Rhine. Okay, then we got that this day was five days before the calends of April, which is the 28th of March. Okay, with Piso and Gabinius being consuls. So, yeah, you could either put, the 28th of March or 5 days before the calends of April. And so, why did they give us both of these days? How does Caesar know what day they appointed for setting out? Yeah, he had spies. So, and I think that he is like providing specific data, like the day he knew that they were setting out and why they might have approached the Allobroges and all of that, because he is trying to like provide specific data, in quotes, to back up his argument for why he had to go after him. There weren't any CNN fact checkers checking whether that was actually the date or not, right? Because the Romans weren't there. I mean, other than the people that were loyal to Caesar. So the only report is his report, right? Because he kicked their butts.